So, I have a bit of a dilemma. I'm in the process of moving, and before the movers get here, I want to paint this large bonus room, but I have no idea where to begin. There's like a million colors here. So, I have called in the Decorologist, Kristie Barnett. Hi, Kristie.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I could be better because I'm a little overwhelmed with this room. As you can see, it's large, and it has lots of colors and outdated colors.
Yes, it is. It is. So to start with, you need to think about what kind of colors that you like, but also what's going to be in your room. So is this carpet going to remain? Is the sofa going to be in this room? And so we'll start looking at some colors that'll complement those things and also be a color that you like.
Okay, that sounds good. I would love to use this room as more like of a television viewing and maybe like a gym equipment in here. So lighter colors or something light is what I'd like.
Okay, so you don't want this dark, warm, cozy kind of feel that this color scheme has. Something light and open and more airy.
Absolutely, yes, yes. And another thing, do I need to paint this angled ceiling all as the same colors of the walls?
Okay, the way that they have done the ceiling and the walls, it's all chopped up, it's different colors, and it makes the room feel a little oppressive. So because you don't have crown molding and because you have these slanted ceilings, I'd recommend a lighter color that extends from the wall all the way across the ceiling and just wrap the whole room in the same color. It'll make it look a lot bigger, a lot more open and airy.
Great. Now, I know you have a pet peeve when it comes to these color wheels.
Yes.
And you were telling me earlier about the first part of the wheel.
Okay, most of these color fan decks are separated into a couple of sections, and there's a section in the front where the colors are much more vivid and bright. Well, they look pretty and they look better compared to these more muted colors, but the truth is, when you see these colors on their own, they look like a baby boy nursery.
Yes.
Okay, they're too bright, they're too vivid for most settings. So if you're talking about living room or a den like this, you're probably going to want to look in the more muted colors because they look lighter and brighter once they go up.
And you said you should also have a bigger sample to follow.
Yes.
So you got a great way to do that here. Show me what you were showing me a little bit earlier, and let's share that with everybody.
Okay. Well, the first thing is you want to use bigger samples. So say you pick out 4 or 5 colors that you're considering for your wall. Well, once you find them in the fan deck, you want to paint them out on bigger boards. Okay. And I use, you can pick these up. I know Sherwin-Williams carries small walls, and they're just like a sample board. There's an adhesive on the back that you can stick them up on the wall. And you just paint 2 good coats of your paint color there, and then you can move it around the room and look at it with different finishes. So what I do is I start out down here, I put some white boards here so I'm not looking at this blue because it's not going to be there anymore. So you don't want to see it in relationship to that. You want to see it in relationship with your trim and your carpet.
I get a good representation with it like that.
So you can better visualize how it's going to look when it goes up.
I like that.
Another thing I do is I look at it behind the furniture that's going to stay. So for example, if you put a bright color up behind this muted sofa, it doesn't look very good, does it?
No.
So you put a more muted color that goes with the muted sofa, and it's much more pleasing to the eye. But doing these bigger samples, you can get a better representation of how it's going to turn out.
Oh, gosh. Well, I've got so much I need to ask you, and so we have to do part 2 of this because you are a wealth of knowledge and I have so many questions. This has been a start, but we're going to come back tomorrow with Kristie and talk more on choosing paint colors. Thank you. This has been great.